Introduction. Own your morning, elevate your life. Imagine waking up while the world is still asleep. The streets are silent. The air is crisp. It's 5 a.m. You rise not because you have to, but because you want to. Because you know that the first hour of your day can define the rest of your life. You are no longer a prisoner to distraction, delay, and mediocrity. You are now part of the 5 a.m. club, a rare breed of high performers who understand a powerful truth: your mornings are your secret weapon. Welcome to this audiobook summary of the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, a revolutionary guide disguised as a story. Through its pages, you won't just learn habits and tactics, you'll experience transformation. Robin Sharma, one of the world's most respected leadership experts, delivers his wisdom not through lectures but through a fictional yet profoundly relatable journey. A burnout entrepreneur, a frustrated artist, and an eccentric billionaire take us on an unforgettable ride, a journey that reveals how reclaiming the first hour of your day can help you master your mind, optimize your health, and multiply your productivity. This isn't just about waking up early. It's about rewiring your mindset, building rituals that stick, and achieving personal mastery. The 5 a.m. Club is rooted in neuroscience, elite performance research, and ancient wisdom. And it's all built around one bold promise: own your morning, and you'll own your life. In this summary, we'll break down Sharma's powerful ideas into 6 parts. 1. The awakening, where personal transformation begins. 2. The journey begins, understanding how greatness is built one morning at a time. 3. Mastery at dawn, unveiling the 20/20/20 formula that reshapes your day. 4. Tools of transformation, the science of habits, identity, and mental mastery. 5. Peak performance blueprint, strategies for sustained excellence. 6. Living the philosophy, integrating the 5 a.m. principles into your lifestyle. This is your invitation to wake up to your potential, literally and figuratively. So whether you're listening in the stillness of the early morning, during a workout, or on your way to work, know this: you're not just consuming information. You're joining a movement. A movement of people who refuse to live life on autopilot. Because greatness is never an accident. It begins before the sun rises. Hit the subscribe button and let's begin. Part 1. The Awakening. Every revolution begins with a moment of disruption, a spark that ignites the fire of change. For the characters in the 5 a.m. Club, that spark came in the form of a chance encounter. A struggling entrepreneur on the brink of burnout, and an artist battling creative drought attend what seems like a standard personal development seminar. But what unfolds is anything but ordinary. They meet a disheveled, eccentric man in flip-flops, one who appears to be homeless at first glance. But soon, this man reveals himself to be a billionaire business titan, a mentor disguised as a madman. And with that revelation, the journey begins, not just across the globe, but inward into self-mastery. Robin Sharma cleverly uses storytelling to bypass the resistance that often comes with personal development. Through the eyes of relatable characters, we see ourselves overwhelmed, distracted, disconnected from our potential. And we are introduced to the first profound truth. Excuses breed no genius. Just because it's never been done doesn't mean you can't do it. Stop shrinking your dreams to fit your reality. Stretch your reality to match your dreams. Letting go of mediocrity. One of the key messages in this first section is a call to abandon mediocrity. In a world obsessed with comfort and conformity, the path to greatness is radical. It requires embracing discomfort, waking up early, and being different. The billionaire, whose name we eventually learn is Stone Riley, shares his own journey of transformation. He reveals that everything changed when he began rising at 5 a.m., when he carved out a sacred hour each morning for personal growth, clarity, and strategic preparation. But before adopting this new way of life, one must first let go of all that is ordinary. Let go of comparison. Let go of distraction. Let go of playing small. Let go of the addiction to urgency over importance. The awakening is about waking up, literally and figuratively, to the truth that you are capable of more. Much more. The power of the first hour. The billionaire teases the secret that has transformed his life and the lives of elite performers around the world. It all centers around what he calls the victory hour, the first hour of your day, starting at 5 a.m., where your greatest opportunity for growth and productivity lies. He promises the entrepreneur and the artist that within this hour they will sculpt their mindset, strengthen their health set, elevate their heart set, refine their soul set. These four internal empires, mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set, become the foundation of the 5 a.m. philosophy. The idea is simple. When you strengthen your inner world, the outer world starts to shift in your favor. But none of this is possible without the initial awakening, the moment you realize that your current life isn't aligned with your deepest potential. Transformation begins with a decision. Both the entrepreneur and the artist are skeptical. Like many of us, they carry doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs. But they make a decision, the first real step in any transformation. They accept the billionaire's invitation to learn more. And with that, they board a flight that will change their lives forever. The lesson here is clear. Change doesn't begin with perfect circumstances. It doesn't begin when you have everything figured out. It begins the moment you decide that where you are is no longer enough. This is the awakening, the moment when you choose to stop settling. When you admit that while you may be successful by society's standards, you're far from fulfilled. And when you finally realize that if you don't take charge of your mornings, you'll never take charge of your life. So, as this journey unfolds, ask yourself, are you ready to let go of the life you've settled for to pursue the life you're truly capable of living? Part 2. The journey begins. When you commit to change, life begins to shift in ways you never imagined. In the 5 a.m. club, the entrepreneur and the artist have taken their first bold step, accepting the mysterious billionaire's invitation. With curiosity piqued and skepticism waning, they board a private jet bound for a secluded paradise, where their transformation is about to accelerate. This section marks the beginning of their immersion into the ancient yet powerful philosophy of morning mastery. It's the bridge between awareness and action, a crucial transition from knowing you need change to actually stepping into the process. A bizarre adventure into morning mastery. Their journey leads them to a remote, breathtaking island in Mauritius, where they're introduced to a world far removed from the noise and chaos of modern life. Here, under the guidance of the billionaire mentor, they'll unlearn the habits that held them back and embrace the disciplines of greatness. The first lesson is this: distraction is the death of creative production. We live in a world obsessed with speed, likes, clicks, and constant comparison. Focus has become rare. Stillness is often seen as laziness. But in truth, the elite performers of the world are those who intentionally slow down, reflect deeply, and guard their time ruthlessly. The mentor explains that rising at 5 a.m. is not just about getting up early, it's about creating undisturbed space to build focus, resilience, and strategy while the rest of the world sleeps. Solitude is the new luxury. In silence, we remember who we are. Peak productivity, virtuosity, and undefeatability. The billionaire reveals that all great leaders, athletes, and creative geniuses have rituals. They've designed their mornings with precision and purpose. And the cornerstone of these rituals is intentional solitude, a time when they invest in themselves. In this peaceful setting, the entrepreneur and the artist begin to understand the depth of what's being offered. Peak productivity doesn't come from working harder, but from working smarter, with total presence. Virtuosity, or mastery, requires consistency, discipline, and repetition, especially in the early hours. Undefeatability is the result of internal mastery. When your inner world is solid, the external world cannot shake you. The mentor introduces them to a principle they'll hear often. Own your morning. Elevate your life. This isn't a motivational slogan. It's a strategic formula, one built on the science of brain optimization, energy flow, and high-performance psychology. Preparation for transformation begins in paradise. The island becomes a sanctuary for their reinvention. No distractions. No obligations. Just pure, focused learning. Their days are structured yet freeing. Early mornings are spent learning and reflecting. Afternoons involve practice and implementation. And every moment is infused with the reminder that greatness is a result of design, not default. The characters begin journaling, meditating, exercising, and, most importantly, thinking deeply. They start to break free from the identities they've clung to for years. The entrepreneur loosens her grip on stress and overachievement. The artist rediscovers creative fire long buried beneath self-doubt. This part of the book teaches us that to grow, we must retreat. To lead others, we must first lead ourselves. And to change the world, we must start by changing our mornings. Key takeaways from the journey's beginning. Morning solitude is your greatest asset in a world full of noise. Peak performance comes from rituals, not random effort. Internal transformation must precede external success. Creating space, both in time and environment, is essential for clarity and creativity. The journey has officially begun. The foundation has been laid. But the most powerful tools are yet to be revealed. Part 3: Mastery at Dawn. This is the heart of the 5 a.m. Club, the moment where philosophy meets practice. After days of reflection, self-discovery, and quiet preparation on the island, the billionaire mentor finally unveils the key to sustained success: the 20/20/20 formula. This is the exact protocol that transforms an ordinary morning into a launchpad for greatness. It begins with a declaration. Win the first hour of your day, and you'll win the day. Stack enough strong days, and you'll build a legendary life. Let's break down the formula that fuels the 5 a.m. Club. The 20/20/20 formula, the victory hour, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. The first hour of the day is divided into 3 powerful pockets of 20 minutes each targeting a different dimension of personal mastery. 1. Move, 5 to 5:20 a.m. This first pocket is all about exercise. You wake up and immediately get your body moving. Why? Sweating reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. It boosts dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that make you feel alive and motivated. It enhances focus and clarity by increasing brain-derived neurotrophic factor (BDNF). Whether it's a high-intensity workout, yoga, or a jog, this physical activity activates your body and primes your mind. You break the inertia, and you start the day with momentum. You can't think your way into a new life. You must act your way into one. 2. Reflect, 5:20 to 5:40 a.m. The second pocket is about inner clarity. This is your space for solitude, silence, and self-awareness. Journal your thoughts. Meditate. Pray or engage in deep breathing. Review your goals or visualize your ideal life. This is the time to reconnect with your values, your intentions, and your purpose. In a world addicted to noise, stillness becomes a superpower. It's how you build emotional resilience and stay anchored to what truly matters. 3. Grow, 5:40 to 6 a.m. The final pocket is dedicated to learning and self-improvement. You fill your mind with knowledge, ideas, and strategies that elevate your performance. Read a personal development book. Watch an educational video. Listen to a podcast or audiobook. The world's top performers are perpetual learners. They use their mornings to build intellectual capital that compounds over time. Your income and impact will never exceed your self-identity and personal development. Why the 20/20/20 formula works. This morning routine is rooted in neuroscience, psychology, and elite performance principles. By the time the clock strikes 6 a.m., you've activated your body, calmed your emotions, expanded your mind. Most people haven't even hit the snooze button yet. This method creates a psychological advantage. You start your day with confidence, clarity, and control. It also builds self-trust, the foundation of personal power. When you keep promises to yourself, especially early in the morning, you strengthen your integrity. Protecting your victory hour. Implementing this formula requires intention. You can't just stumble into it. You must design your evenings to win your mornings. Go to bed early. Sleep is essential for cognitive function and emotional balance. Eliminate digital distractions before bed. No screens. No chaos. Prepare your workout clothes, journal, and reading materials the night before. Rising at 5 a.m. is not about being a morning person. It's about being a purposeful person. The hour that changes everything. The victory hour is more than a routine, it's a sacred ritual. A daily ceremony of self-respect and discipline. When repeated consistently, it rewires your brain, reshapes your identity, and rebuilds your life. Master your morning, and you'll master your destiny. Part 4. Tools of Transformation. It's one thing to feel inspired, it's another to turn that inspiration into lasting change. In Part 4 of the 5 a.m. Club, the billionaire mentor equips the entrepreneur and the artist with the tools, systems, and strategies that bridge the gap between momentary motivation and lifelong transformation. This is where high performance becomes sustainable. If the 20/20/20 formula is the ritual, then these tools are the infrastructure, the systems that support a life of purpose, discipline, and high achievement. The 4 focuses of history makers. The mentor introduces what he calls the 4 interior empires: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual mastery. 1. Mindset psychology. The way you think determines the way you live. Mental clarity, optimism, and discipline begin in the mind. 2. Heart set, emotionality. You must heal emotional wounds and nurture compassion and empathy. Emotional intelligence is foundational for leadership. 3. Health set, physicality, energy, vitality, and physical strength are crucial for executing your mission. 4. Soul set, spirituality, a connection to something greater, a sense of mission or divine purpose, creates fulfillment. You are not one-dimensional. High performance requires harmony among all 4 of these empires. You can't build an empire in the world until you've built one within yourself. The Habit Installation Protocol. Changing your life means changing your habits. But most people give up too soon. The billionaire breaks down the truth about habit creation through the 66-day Habit Installation Protocol, a process backed by science and psychology. 1. Destruction, days 1 to 22. This is the hardest phase. You're breaking old patterns. It's uncomfortable, unfamiliar, and often discouraging. 2. Installation, days 23 to 44. Here, you're caught in the messy middle. You've left behind your old self, but haven't fully stepped into the new one. 3. Integration, days 45 to 66. This is when your new behavior becomes automatic. You move from effort to ease. You become the habit. Consistency is the real key. Most people quit too soon, not realizing how close they are to transformation. All change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and beautiful at the end. Identity sculpting. The mentor emphasizes the idea that you act in alignment with your identity. If you want lasting change, you must upgrade your self-image. Instead of saying, "I want to wake up early," say, "I am someone who rises early." Instead of, "I'll try to be disciplined," say, "I am disciplined." Identity comes first. Actions follow. That's why affirmations, journaling, and self-visualization are powerful. They help you shape a new mental model of who you are. This is where the victory hour becomes more than a morning routine, it becomes a statement of who you are becoming. Tight bubble of total focus. In a world of constant distractions, success demands boundaries. The mentor introduces the principle of the tight bubble of total focus, TBTF, a mental and physical zone where your greatest work happens. Eliminate notifications, noise, and unnecessary meetings. Batch tasks and protect your peak creative hours. Design an environment that supports focus and creativity. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about doing fewer things better. Protect your focus like it's sacred, because it is. Laying the foundation for lasting change. This section of the journey is about building the engine behind the habit. It's about developing structure, resilience, and internal clarity. Inspiration starts the fire, but these tools are what keep it burning. Rewire your identity. Master the 66-day transformation. Align your 4 interior empires. Build a fortress around your focus. When these tools are consistently applied, change stops being a dream and starts becoming your reality. Part 5. Peak Performance Blueprint. After laying the inner foundation of transformation, it's time to activate high-level execution. In Part 5 of the 5 a.m. Club, the billionaire mentor turns his attention to strategies used by the most elite performers on the planet: CEOs, athletes, creatives, and change-makers. This is your blueprint for sustained peak performance. This isn't about working more. It's about working better. About upgrading your daily systems so that excellence becomes second nature. The 10 Tactics of Lifelong Genius. The mentor unveils his personal toolkit, 10 powerful tactics designed to optimize energy, focus, and productivity. Let's break them down. 1. The tight bubble of total focus. As explored earlier, this means creating a distraction-free zone where you do your most important work. It's about choosing depth over distraction. Every genius has a sanctuary for concentration. 2. The 90/90/1 rule. For the next 90 days, spend the first 90 minutes of your workday on your single most important project. This single tactic will multiply your output. No distractions, no multitasking, just focused progress. Legendary is less about luck and more about ritual. 3. The 60/10 method. Work for 60 minutes, then take a 10-minute renewal break. Science shows your brain fatigues after deep focus. Recharge with movement, breathing, or brief reflection. 4. The Daily 5 concept. Each day, complete 5 micro-wins aligned with your bigger mission. These could be small tasks, habits, or priorities. Small, consistent victories compound into massive growth. 5. The second wind workout. Exercise twice a day, not for intensity, but for energy and clarity. A morning session to activate you. A lighter afternoon session to reset and regenerate. 6. The 2 massage protocol. Yes, 2 massages per week. High performers must prioritize recovery. Just like elite athletes, you must treat your body like an asset. Rest and renewal are not luxuries, they are productivity enhancers. 7. Traffic University. Turn travel time into learning time. Listen to audiobooks or podcasts during commutes. Fill downtime with personal development. 8. The Dream Team Technique. Surround yourself with mentors, coaches, and collaborators. No one wins alone. Outsource weaknesses. Collaborate with excellence. 9. The Weekly Design System. Every Sunday, plan your upcoming week in detail. Identify key goals. Allocate time blocks. Anticipate obstacles. Clarity creates power. 10. The 60-minute student. Dedicate at least 60 minutes a day to learning. Read. Study. Reflect. All great leaders are great learners. You can't scale a mountain with broken tools. Sharpen them daily. The essentialness of sleep. To operate at peak levels, you must prioritize deep recovery. The billionaire emphasizes the science of sleep. 7.5 to 9 hours of quality sleep is non-negotiable. Sleep regulates hormones, repairs the body, and optimizes brain function. He warns against the glamorization of hustle culture. Sleep is not the enemy of success, it's a foundation of it. Key tips: no screens 90 minutes before bed. Cool, dark, quiet sleep environment. Evening rituals that promote calm and closure. Twin cycles of elite performance. The mentor introduces a powerful idea: peak performance requires oscillation between intense work and deep rest. 1. High excellence cycle, a 90-day sprint of full output, high discipline, and execution. 2. Deep recovery cycle, followed by a cycle of renewal, travel, reflection, and rejuvenation. The best in the world don't just work hard, they strategically alternate between pushing and pausing. A system, not a secret. Excellence isn't a mystery. It's a repeatable system. The Peak Performance Blueprint reveals that greatness is about daily structure, strategic rest, consistent learning, intentional living. Master these tactics, and your life will begin to compound in value. Part 6. Living the Philosophy. As the journey of the 5 a.m. Club draws to a close, what began as an unusual encounter between strangers has become a profound inner transformation. The entrepreneur and the artist are no longer the people they were at the beginning. They have become students of mastery, discipline, and deep purpose. But the billionaire mentor makes one thing very clear: knowledge is useless without execution. An idea not implemented is a dream never realized. This final part of the story shows us how to integrate the 5 a.m. principles into daily life, not as a trend, but as a lifestyle. The tools have been given. The mindset has been reshaped. Now, it's about application, consistency, and personal ownership. The twin cycles of elite performance. Revisited here is the truth about balance. To sustain high performance, you must dance between two opposing but complementary rhythms. 1. The high excellence cycle, periods of focused output, discipline, and growth. 2. The deep recovery cycle, moments of rest, solitude, and rejuvenation. Peak performance isn't about grinding endlessly. It's about managing your energy, not just your time. The characters begin planning their lives with these cycles in mind. They embrace intensity followed by recovery, allowing them to operate at full capacity without burnout. Becoming the hero of your life. The mentor urges them to no longer be victims of their past, their pain, or their patterns. Instead, they are to become heroes, individuals who choose growth over comfort, and mission over mediocrity. The lessons are clear. Wake up early not just to beat the sun, but to lead yourself. Build your morning routine not for productivity alone, but to become your highest self. Align your work with your values, your days with your dreams, and your habits with your purpose. Own your morning. Elevate your life. This phrase is no longer just a mantra. It has become their truth. 5 years later. In the epilogue, we fast forward. The artist is now thriving, a respected figure in the creative world. The entrepreneur is a visionary leader, running a company that impacts lives globally. Their success was not instant, but it was inevitable, because they stayed the course. They lived the philosophy. They guarded their mornings. They structured their days. They built habits that lasted. They grew from within. And most importantly, they chose mastery over mediocrity, one morning at a time. It's your turn. Now it's your turn. You've heard the lessons. You've absorbed the ideas. The only question that remains is, will you rise? Will you rise at 5 a.m. to honor your potential? Will you trade short-term comfort for long-term greatness? Will you give yourself the gift of a sacred hour, every day, to build your future? Because the truth is simple. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things, if they choose to show up when it matters most. That moment is 5 a.m. Let this not just be another inspiring audiobook. Let this be the start of your transformation. Wake up early. Train your mind. Strengthen your body. Open your heart. And live your purpose. Because this is more than a book. It's a movement. And now, you're part of it. Conclusion: rise into your greatness. It's been 5 years since that pivotal journey began, the morning that two ordinary individuals stepped into the extraordinary world of the 5 a.m. Club. What started with a spark of curiosity and an encounter with an eccentric billionaire became a complete transformation of body, mind, heart, and soul. And now, we see the results. 5 years later, the legacy of the 5 a.m. Club. The once burnout entrepreneur has become a conscious CEO, running a globally impactful business, one that's driven by purpose, rooted in values, and thriving in service. The artist, once plagued with doubt and creative stagnation, is now a global icon, inspiring millions through his art and message. He wakes each day with fire in his heart, clarity in his mind, and discipline in his habits. They live in alignment with their highest selves, not by chance, but by design. This is the power of the 5 a.m. Club. Greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. It's reserved for the few who choose. They chose to rise early. To lead themselves before leading others. To build quiet routines that created loud impact. And now you can too. Final reflections. The 5 a.m. Club is not a hack. It's not a trend. It's a philosophy, A way of living that prioritizes mastery, presence, and purpose. Through the Victory Hour and the 20/20/20 formula, you take back control of your days. Through habit installation and self-leadership, you become the architect of your destiny. But none of it matters if you don't take action. So pause. Reflect. Then decide. Are you ready to join the 5 a.m. club, not just in theory, but in practice? Are you ready to live each day intentionally, instead of reacting passively? Because your life won't change when the calendar flips. Your life changes when you decide to own your mornings. Key recap: the pillars of the 5 a.m. club. The 20/20/20 formula: move, reflect, grow, 1 hour that changes your day, every day. The 4 interior empires: mindset, heart set, health set, soul set. Master the inside to win on the outside. The habit installation protocol: 66 days to transform your behavior and identity. The peak performance blueprint: tactical tools like the 90/90/1 rule, the tight bubble of total focus, and the 60-minute student for sustained excellence. The twin cycles of elite performance: work hard, rest well, repeat with intention. And above all, own your morning. Elevate your life. If this audiobook has stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Start tomorrow. Set your alarm. Rise at 5 a.m. Move your body. Center your mind. Learn something new. Day by day, build the life you've always known you were meant to live. And if this message resonated with you, please, like this video, share it with someone who needs this shift, and subscribe to the channel for more transformational wisdom and deep life lessons. The 5 a.m. club isn't just a habit, it's a revolution. And now you're part of it. Your greatness is waiting. Wake up early. Take control. Live intentionally. Because your future deserves nothing less.